one of the guys that really helped the exposure of Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling within the last year has been Chris Jericho.
Right.
Okay, so he has the cruise that's coming up in November, I believe, and it's going to have members of Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling. So now there are rumors because of his friendship with Don Callis. Don Callis was the guy that helped Chris Jericho get to New Japan Pro Wrestling, become the New Japan Intercontinental Champion or IWGP Intercontinental Champion. And now there's rumors that because of Callis running Impact now, Jericho will come to Impact. Do you see this happening?
All things considered, I really don't see it happening. The reason I say that is when you think about Chris Jericho and when he was really popular well, not that he's not popular now, but when he really had his mainstream success, it was within the WWE. And every time you hear him talk, whether it's on a podcast or an interview, he talks about how he still seems to have a loyalty to Vince McMahon in the WWE.
A very rare occasion. Not many people are loyal to Vince McMahon because he's not loyal to many wrestlers himself unless he knows you can make money with them. So,
well, I guess it depends on the wrestler. But what I would say is with Jericho, he does have that loyalty to Vince. And he said recently that he would not compete, at least not in the States. Mm-hmm. And he would want to ask for Vince's blessing before doing so. Not only that, but there's not really many compelling matches for Jericho there, I don't think. He's a really big star, and not that they don't have some young, talented guys, but I think their biggest guy there now is their champion, Austin Aries. And to see those two work a match would be great, but I just think his persona and his character is bigger than Impact Wrestling. And, that's not really meant to be a knock on them, but they're not one of the bigger names when it comes to, the wrestling industry. You've got New Japan, Ring of Honor, like we mentioned. In WWE, I think Impact itself has always been viewed as kind of like the runner-up to those shows. So, well, I don't see it happening.
Maybe they're like the runt of the family right now, but I can see it happening because with Jericho, obviously we just talked about it, how his appearance in New Japan Pro Wrestling has kind of gained that exposure and kind of helped the way to sell out Madison Square Garden, I think.
Right.
Now, will he be on that show at Madison Square Garden? That's another thing. That could be interesting because he is the Intercontinental Champion for the New Japan Pro Wrestling. So if he's there defending the title, that's a date in the United States. So it's like, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen sometime. And if he goes to Impact, he can instantly become a main event guy, obviously. And he could start a kind of like 2006 to 2009 move with TNA, where the guys of Christian Cage, Kurt Angle, and a bunch of WWE guys that were fed up with how the direction was going and moved over to Impact. And there were times where people thought that Impact was definitely the better show over WWE. It was that one live show that they did that got ruined because, Scott Hall was drunk off his ass and X-Pac was snorting coke, and you could obviously tell. Right. Hogan ruined the show. So if they didn't have that live show, we could be talking about Impact selling out the Garden. So
I don't see that. I don't think that was ever going to really happen. I don't think their promotion was ever very good or their shows were very good. I think it's much more likely that Jericho would be at an event like All In or at the show at Madison Square Garden, as opposed to him actually showing up on Impact at any point. If he's going to work any dates inside in the States outside of the WWE.